And we are live.
We're alive.
Oh, man. All right. I'm Zach.
And I'm Ed.
And today, Ed is joining me as I play through a little game called Pikmin. Uh,
It's Pikmin.
Pikmin.
Oh,
Right. So before we get started, I wanted
there's
to
a
ask
one.
you, Ed, what what do you know about Pikmin? What
They're
comes to
mostly
mind when you
found in
hear
the
it?
Nether. They're mostly found in the Nether. If you have gold on you, they won't attack you.
Okay, I think you're thinking of a different game, but that's all right.
No,
We'll
that's Minecraft. It's the Pikmin.
no Pikmin.
Who?
It's better if I just show you.
See, they spelled it wrong.
No, they spelled it right.
Mm.
All right. Now everything should be working, and you're able to hear everything. Actually, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. Mostly because I need to be able to hear you, Edward. Oh well, it's already as low as it can go. Oh well, it'll be fine.
Yes. You can hear me now.
Yes, I can.
Yes. So it's about flowers.
It pretty much. It's basically a game about horticulture.
Oh,
So we're gonna go ahead and jump into a new file. This will be a 100% run.
You're funny. You're very funny.
I'll explain why this being a 100% run is not at all unusual.
Uh,
But we got a cutscene. Just take it in.
Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Goober. Oh god, an asteroid! Oh, this is the dinosaurs.
Hey.
I see.
Hey, you might want to look out. There's a rock. Oh, never mind. You found it.
It was on purpose. Calculated. This is the best trick shot in the universe. My name's Olimar, and this is Jackass. Oh, his ship is breaking up into the atmosphere. The stratosphere. Oh no. So wait, okay, so the ship is destroyed. I'm guessing you have to find parts of the ship.
Good job. You have figured out the main objective of the game.
The MacGuffins. So why is he Rudolph, and why is his nose and blinker red?
Ooh. Sure, that'll buff out. So we're going to be playing as Captain Olimar. As we have seen, he was struck by a meteor cruising through space and has landed on a strange planet. His poor beloved ship, the SS Dolphin, lies in ruins.
It's called the Dolphin. High levels of poisonous oxygen. So Olimar is a nitrogen-based life form.
That is a good assumption.
So arsenic wouldn't hurt him as well as it hurt us, but selenium might hurt him. So Head and Shoulders he does not use.
Potentially.
Yes.
But also, like, he doesn't have much hair, so I don't think it's much of an issue. I'm just going to do a quick
Well, Head and Shoulders all for all
survey of the
poisons.
damage.
Flaky scalps. Oh, so this is like a sandbox game.
Kind of. So we can kind of run around, and we have like a little cursor that points at things. And as you can see, it's a pretty natural environment. We got like this little tree stump that's been cut down. In this nice little open grassy area. And, oh, we got something over here.
That's true.
It's a thing.
A strange thing has appeared before me. I'm gonna just think that this is all written in Shatner's voice. Is it alive? Is it a machine? It resembles a vegetable on my home planet that we called an onion. I shall call it an onion. Okay. Interesting. What are the ones and ones on the sides of the ship?
We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, we need to meet our first friend.
Let's, well, it doesn't appear that it's a person. It just looks like a seed. I cannot help but think it's calling to me. I am compelled. I must approach it and press A.
So one thing I'd like to note about this game in particular is that as it's giving you the instructions on how to actually play it, it will pop up these diagrams of the GameCube controller to show you, like, this is the button you need to be pressing. The reason why this is important is because Pikmin was actually a launch title for the GameCube back in 2001.
Ooh. Ooh, I've seen nightmares with that big face right there. Ooh. Pick brand carrots. So this dude is just naming things based off food that he's seen in his home.
Olimar's creativity is thin, we'll say, in this game. He gets better in the sequels.
Oh.
Oh, just controller lighting up like a Christmas tree.
Surprised how meta he is.
He's real fucking chatty, too.
Uh-huh. I must survive. I need to familiarize myself with these controls and my surroundings. Well, also, point of order. Does his suit have oxygen? Oh, I'm sorry, nitrogen.
Yes, he does have some limited life support in his suit and what remains of his ship. However, it will only last him for 30 days. So, now we got a friend. We can actually start playing the game. So you're asking what these little one flowers are. Well,
Yes.
we'll throw a Pikmin at it. He's gonna hit it with his head.
Oh, so you're not supposed to like hit the one with the Pikmin? Like you're not supposed to get it like perfect?
Oh, you can. But the aim is rather precise. So the Pikmin takes this one pellet back to the onion, and it gives us more Pikmin. And this is the propagation cycle of Pikmin in general.
Fascinating. Olimar's very, he seems like he, oh yeah, you hit it dead on, and it did it.
Yep. And instead of it taking 3 or 4 hits for it to come down, if you manage to land it right on the money, it will come down immediately. And so as Pikmin grab stuff, they will take it back to the onion, they'll sprout new Pikmin, and we're just going to leave them to grow a little bit.
Will it grow bigger?
If you leave the Pikmin unplucked in the ground for long enough, they will mature into fully bloomed flowers. And doing so will actually make them a little bit faster, a little bit stronger. Generally, they're just better overall. And so here, if you dismiss your Pikmin, they will take on this little pale discoloration, indicating that they are idling. They are not doing anything of value, and we cannot have that.
Yes, our indentured, our friends need to have work.
Okay, so pretty much this first area, the impact site, is basically a tutorial area. So we will need to just simply grab all of our Pikmin, grow them up, and then we will be able to proceed in due time. So these one pellets require at least one Pikmin in order for them to be able to carry, but for all the items you can pick up, you can overcarry them, which will increase the speed in which they will come back.
Was this the way to teach children fractions?
I don't think it's necessarily anything that complicated. But it is something to keep in mind. So whenever you're picking up objects, the top number will be what is required to carry it. The bottom number is how many Pikmin you currently have assigned to this task.
Interesting. Math.
So
at the bottom, there's 3 zeros, 3 potential digits. Can you get hundreds of Pikmin in this game?
We'll cross that bridge in the next day.
Interesting.
See, look at this. Look at how fast these guys are, and compared to that.
Wait, are they different?
Yep, they are moving slower.
Oh, I thought some of these were actual flowers. They all look the same measure of maturity.
If you want to wait for them to get flowered up, you basically have to wait 5 minutes in game.
Really?
Yeah, it's not worth the time, especially to start off, because there is an actual day-to-day time limit. It's not in play during the first day because it's the tutorial, but it will be a mechanic introduced on day 2.
And that number 10 means how many Pikmin you need to move the thing?
Yep.
Where?
See, you're getting it. You're understanding what this game's putting down.
Numbers. Also, what is that 10 for? What is that box? Is it like a beer box? Bottle box? What is that?
It's just a cardboard box.
Pikmin are as curious as children. Oh, those child labor laws. If you replace the word Pikmin with the word child, this game becomes really, really, really different.
And, oh, what do we have over here?
That looks really wrong. Oh, that's a machine part. That's for your... Oh, that's for your ship. I like how we're reading this as if this is an internal monologue.
It pretty much is.
He's not a person of many words, is he? 20. Okay.
Yep.
Well.
So we're gonna need a couple more buddies.
Are they gonna go back to the first red place, or is there a new red place you can put them, or...
So if you have a group of idle Pikmin just sitting around, then they can become active if something wanders past them that they can contribute to. Like that.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And once objects are at their maximum carrying capacity, then Pikmin will just ignore them.
Ooh.
Wow. Revolutionary. Button mashing in a video game. So, fun fact about the development of this game, there was originally a mechanic programmed into the game that is still active in the game's files but disabled, where Olimar's whistle, which he uses to call idle Pikmin to him, like that, was also going to be able to pluck the seeds from the ground. But they changed that during the development cycle because they felt it was going to be too easy to get more Pikmin. And there's something at play with a sort of Japanese philosophy and like finding joy in the mundanity and little things of life.
That's okay. All right. I'll just go with it because that just feels. I feel something about that.
In the grand scheme of this game, it is very minimal, and generally, like if you're playing competently, you won't really need to be plucking a lot of Pikmin outside of the first few days of the game. So as they take the ship parts back, they will take it directly to the dolphin, and then this happens.
Yeah, that's how physics works, yeah.
Well, yeah, you've never taken your car to the shop to get repairs? This is exactly how it goes.
It's never sucked it into the car before. Oh, wow. Oh, glorious. With the help of these Pikmin, I've taken a huge step back towards home. Huh. I like how he's renamed everything for himself. Like, he didn't even ask them what their names are. He's just named them.
Well, the Pikmin can't talk, so...
Has he tried communicating?
As the game goes on, Olimar will opine more about his relationship with the Pikmin, and he does try several ways to communicate with them with little success.
Mm-hmm. Why is he trying to leave? Oh, he's going to a different area, I guess?
Yes. Plus, he also needs to make sure that his engine still works, because if that thing's busted, he's screwed, regardless.
So do you get to keep the Pikmin you've made?
Yep. You grow them, you keep them.
The dolphin's missing 29 parts.
And this is more or less the cycle of the day. You start your day off, get some Pikmin, set them off to collect various things, repair your ship, and all do it within the time limit before sunset comes. And if you do it fast enough, you get to leave and not die on an alien planet. And so we're just going to go ahead and jump straight into day 2. Explore the new area, the Forest of Hope.
The Forest of Hope.
This is the first, like, actual level of the game. And probably the most iconic in the series. This is Pikmin's World 1-1, if you will.
I don't get the reference. 1-1.
Yeah, like
11.
The original Super Mario Brothers.
See, I never played that.
That sounds like it should be illegal. So, as stated before, our Pikmin will stick with us as long as they're alive, and we could just pull them out of the onion. Start our day.
Can they die?
Oh, yes. So our first main obstacle is this wall blocking our path. As you can see, our Pikmin are just going to go ahead and start toiling at it. There's also another stone wall behind us, but they're not strong enough to deal with that. So we're going to instead have these guys take care of some other things. And if you turn your attention to the top of the screen, you'll see a day tracker.
Oh.
Yep, so each day has a set time limit. In this game, it is roughly 14 and a half minutes.
Per level?
Per day, yes.
Wow.
Tragically, this happened off screen, but I will be able to show this off shortly. But this is... Once a Pikmin has been plucked, they cannot mature in any sort of natural way, but if they pick up these little yellow globs of nectar, they will instantly bloom into a flower.
Oh. So are the yellow ones better than the red ones?
Yes, the flowers are going to be better in all ways. Generally, anytime you have an opportunity to flower up your Pikmin, it is always good to do so. And because, as you can see, they are faster, stronger, and just they look nice. And
so what are they picking up grass?
Yep, they're plugging up these little patches of grass, and every time they pluck, there's like a 1 in 5 or like a 5% chance that it will drop a drop of nectar. And here we've got our first enemies. These are dwarf bulborbs. These are small little guys. They're generally not very harmful. If you can get one Pikmin to land square on its back, it will instantly die.
Jesus.
But they are still dangerous because they can eat your Pikmin, and that's bad. Because if your Pikmin dies, it is probably the most harrowing thing in the world.
Really?
And I would be loath to demonstrate it on stream. Generally, whenever I play Pikmin, I do attempt no death runs, mostly because having to go out of your way to replace lost Pikmin is very inefficient. So, this is our first actual true day in the game, and so we're just kind of propagating more Pikmin because we're going to need a lot to be able to get pretty much anything done in this game.
It also seemed like those were yellow flowers back there, so like, I imagine It requires yellow Pikmin?
Not necessarily, but the color coding is important.
Oh, do you get yellow Pikmin from these yellow things?
In a sense. Obviously, you are familiar with the different types of Pikmin because Olimar has been in other games. He's made other appearances in Nintendo properties, notably Smash Brothers and Nintendo Land. And so, having Pikmin of multiple types each come with their own strengths relative to each other. And so, we will be encountering yellow Pikmin. And the reason why I'm leaving those pellets aside is because if a same color pellet is taken back to an onion, it will give you a bonus Pikmin.
Ooh. So this 10 will give you 11?
Yes.
Wow, so you're getting a lot of Pikmin at this point.
Gonna need them. And here we have the Red Bulborb. Probably just as much of a mascot as the series as the Pikmin are themselves. Chiefly because they are the only other creature that is on the box art of the original game. So you can...
General Pattern speech, no. This is the day we go forth into the waves of war. No. Oh, just attack, okay?
And he's dead.
A species misunderstood, just trying to survive. They are like the manatee, but for land. Be vicious Pikmin, attack without mercy.
And here we have another ship part just sitting out in the open, minding its own business.
Eternal fuel dynamo! See, Olimar has so much technology and it's such a klutz sometimes. Huh. Also, question. Is Olimar hypnotizing these Pikmin?
You know, that's a good question. The series has never really explained how or why the Pikmin are so ready and willing to help Olimar. I personally ascribe to the theory that there is something in the way Olimar looks and the effect of his whistle that the Pikmin respond to and treat him as a sort of... not necessarily a god, but at the very least, like, a dominant force. But it should also be noted that the Pikmin, prior to Olimar crash landing on this planet, were basically extinct. And if it wasn't for Olimar stumbling upon this onion to have it propagate one final seed, it's likely that the Pikmin never would have been able to return in any capacity.
No more candles for me. I should be able to what? Encase my ship?
Increase my ship's capability. So the more parts that we are able to collect, it basically will unlock new areas to explore.
Oh. Huh.
So we got a lot of Pikmin with us.
I think you're missing 4 of them.
Just waiting for them to grow.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so when a new seed is produced, it takes like 2-3 seconds for it to actually begin to become pluckable. can see a couple of Pikmin decided to trip. There's something about Nintendo during this era that just fucking loved tripping mechanics.
Yes, trip. Man, they're creepy looking. What are these creatures called again?
Bulborbs.
Those poor bulldozers. Viciously attacked.
There is strength in numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of keep these guys tucked aside for right now. Because we've got some new friends.
It would be interesting if the yellow ones did not like the red ones. And they attacked them. Ooh.
What are you guys doing?
Oh, this one has ears.
Yeah. So now that we have two different types, if we decide to dismiss our Pikmin, they will separate by type.
They segregate themselves. Olimar can do things?
Yeah, not really. He does have a punch attack, which is really just his throwing animation. But it is not particularly useful. It's really only good for, like, taking down those pellet posy flowers.
Can he pick up these pellets?
Nope.
So he is useless.
Well, he's not exactly useful, so...
So this is just supervisor of the game.
Pretty much.
Ah, they use this to get people ready for management.
Middle management.
Middle management. No, I mean, it seems like this corporate, there's nobody above him.
Oh, just you wait.
Huh.
So, in Olimar's backstory, which is not really delved into this game, but is in the manual, he is actually an employee of a company called Hagatate Freight, Hagatate being the planet where he comes from. He's a delivery man.
Sure. So, what's with his abilities, and how does that play into him being a delivery man?
I mean, he flies a ship, takes packages. I mean, he's really just basically space UPS.
But how does his hypnosis work with being a delivery man? How does his whistle be like, oh, it plays into delivery man so well? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does him being able to whistle these Pikmin to submission make him a delivery man?
I don't know. I think you're reading too much into it. But here we can see that we do have a limit of Pikmin we can have in the field. 100!
Huh. Seems kind of... What? Why?
Well, for one, it's a nice round number.
Is there a cheat code to go to 999?
Not normally in the game, but like Game Sharks and whatnot can let you bypass that. But generally, you don't want to do that because it does really hinder the processing power of the GameCube. So this is our first special thing that the yellow Pikmin can do. They can pick up bomb rocks.
Do they throw the rocks?
Sometimes. If they're smart.
And if they're not smart, do they become the bombs?
They become casualties. Just like that. So, tragically, I misplayed there, and a Pikmin got caught in an explosion. And here, Olimar is just telling you basic bomb etiquette. The long story short of it is, if you throw a Pikmin, it will toss its bomb to the nearest valid target. That be that either like a stone wall or an enemy creature. Otherwise, it will just kind of sit there and stand idling. However, if you try to whistle them back, they will drop and activate their bombs. In order to safely call back Pikmin who are holding bombs that are idling, you will need to manually go up and touch them to join them back to your party. It is incredibly tedious and incredibly confusing to 10-year-old Zach.
2-year-old Zach.
So we lost a Pikmin. So that ends this no-death run. So now we're going to throw caution to the wind.
Now we're going to start again. No death run or no wind. Oh.
Alright. So we got this stone wall open. So you need those bomb rocks in order to take down these stone walls.
So it says you still have 100 Pikmin. Did you get one back?
Yes, I went to the onion and pulled another one out.
Why is there a countdown?
Because we're coming to the end of the day. We are running out of time, and as such, we need to make sure we have all of our Pikmin with us. Otherwise, they're going to get left behind at the end of the night. Any Pikmin that are currently in your party will be fine. Any Pikmin that are in the landing site for the area will also be fine. If your Pikmin are in neither of those two categories, they won't survive the night.
Will the yellow Pikmin go into the red ship?
No, they will go into their respective onion.
Oh god, they were almost attacked.
So Olimar is going to give a brief sum up at the end of every day in his captain's log, basically stating what has been accomplished, what still needs to be accomplished, and in some cases will make commentary on what happened during the day. Lost in battle 1. You hate to see it.
Wow, that one's going to be tarnishing your record for the entire time we're going to play this.
Oh, probably. But the bomb rocks are by far the trickiest mechanic in the game to really master. And And it's a rookie mistake, I will say. I admit it. I was being hasty and careless. But we're back. It's another day. And our yellow Pikmin have come to rejoin us. And so we will go ahead and pick up where we left off. As you can see, where we previously took down these pellet posies, another one has sprouted up. If we leave them alone during the course of the day, they will bloom back up. And actually, I think I'm going to pull out a couple of additional yellow Pikmin. Gonna have them try and flower up. Nice. So whenever these nectar drops spawn and a Pikmin comes to drink it up, it starts a countdown of about 5 seconds in which any amount of Pikmin can try to drink from it before it disappears. So whenever you see one of these drop, you kind of want to keep your Pikmin and swarm them around in this tight circling pattern to try and maximize how many of them are actually getting flowered up. And it looks like we did pretty good. I see 1, 2 that didn't get flowered up. That's not bad. Gonna pick up some of these bomb rocks again. So these guys squirming around are sheer grubs. The purple ones are males. The white ones are female. The females are harmless, but the males will attack and try to eat your Pikmin.
So did you lose any Pikmin there?
No. We're all unscathed. So if you have a bunch of Pikmin off doing various things, the number at the bottom that's in the middle, the one that's currently glowing red, that will go down anytime your Pikmin are dying.
Oh, gotcha.
And so, with this, we have picked up the radar, or rather the whimsical radar, as Olimar calls it. This is probably the most important ship part in the game, because it will give us the radar. And this will help us find and locate other parts that are in the local area.
Will it ping other lost Pikmin as well?
Actually, it will show you where Pikmin are on the map. So if we pull it up, you see all these dots. That's Pikmin that are currently out and about. Olimar, of course, right there. Tells your home base. And the stars on the map are where other parts are currently living. And so we're just going to keep going on our merry way. And the Pikmin are so easily distracted in this game. Not that it makes a difference. If you have 100 Pikmin, you can do some serious damage to anything that stands in your wake. So we're going to leave those guys to finish tearing down this wall, pick up our yellows over here, have them carry that back so we can get a couple more of them. And we're going to take these guys, we're going to get some more bomb rocks. We're going to go ahead and try and take down a couple more walls. So, bomb rocks will respawn day to day in these designated points. So you're never really going to lock yourself out or soft lock because you can't tear down a wall. So while we were doing that, if you were paying attention, you would have heard a little jingle. That tells you that Pikmin you have assigned to a task have completed it. And so if we go back up and check on the wall, we will see it has been successfully taken down. And the Pikmin are just going to be chilling, waiting for us.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Alright. Okay, we're gonna leave those guys up there. Just so we can show something off. And here we have a bramble gate that's behind a body of water. That's not what I wanted. I don't want you.
Oh no. Must go faster, must go faster, must go faster, must go faster.
Yeah. If you've pulled aggro for an enemy creature, if you just run far enough away, in most cases they'll just forget about you and go back to sleep.
Okay.
And so, to answer your question about water, no! Pikmin cannot swim! So we can't deal with that at the moment.
Did you just kill Pikmin?
No. If a Pikmin is drowning, you can whistle it back to the shore and it will be fine.
Oh, nice.
But you do have a limited amount of time before it will die.
Okay. Makes sense.
Okay. Here we have another part.
Huh. Okay. So do each of these parts provide something new you can do? Like, does this give you a weapons capability that you didn't have before? Or?
No. The radar is about the only thing that gives you anything in-game. No. Okay. go ahead and we're gonna send these guys up here, and we're gonna have to go around the long way to meet them.
An incredible such technology. It blasts stars into tiny pieces. It has a strange allure.
See, that seems like it would be a pretty useful thing to, I don't know, deal with like asteroids and meteors that are in your path.
I feel like Omar is not very smart.
Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. Alright. So what I'm trying to do is there is a bit of an exploit where if you manage to throw a Pikmin in such a way, it will drop a bomb on the wall. Like that. And now I'm going to try and do it again. Nope, that's the wrong way.
Is that like a skillful thing? Is it more efficient, or is it just a cool little neat trick that can be done?
It's just a neat little exploit. Typically, it's done by like speedrunners and whatnot. And did he eat my? It straight up ate my bomb. All right. Come on.
Interesting.
There we go. Well, that's not happening anytime soon. So we're just going to go ahead and ignore that.
What was it?
So it is a bit of a precise maneuver. It's one I've never really experimented with before. But I figured it'd be neat and exciting to try and do on stream. And I got one to go off, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you did pretty well.
So instead, we're just going to go and come up here with all these guys that we had up here. And here's another part. And another bulb orb in the way. So they're going to go ahead and do some kill. Okay. There we go. Well, that could have gone better. I needed all these Pikmin. I swear, I'm usually much better at this game. I chalk it up to live play stress.
I mean, the game itself doesn't seem too difficult.
It's not, but it does have a lot of like first installment quirks, and these are things that would be ironed out in subsequent entries of the series.
Is that Bulborb dead?
Oh yeah, he's very dead. I'm just gonna shove him out of the way.
Oh.
And I am just going to go ahead and throw a couple of more Pikmin here.
It's almost sundown. Hurry up! I was like, oh my god, sundown came down so quickly. The what? The shock absorber. Oh! So, is this a very rinse and repeat kind of process, or like does it eventually ramp up? Is there different mechanics? I mean,
Nah, this is pretty much it.
ah, interesting. Other bosses?
Yes, there actually are. We won't see them in the immediate future, but they will come into play.
Did 3 of your Pikmin die?
Yes, I had lost some Pikmin fighting the Bulborb,
Oh,
and also
R.I.P.
just
Pikmin.
through other sorts of clumsiness.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There we go. Yeah, well, I mean, I had already lost one Pikmin, so I'm not going to try and be as careful as I otherwise normally be. But on the bright side, that means this should be going a lot faster. We got 4 parts in a one day.
Wow, 4 parts. Hello, hello. How are you today, Josiah?
Hmm?
We have a viewer. Someone said, hello, gents.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Who told them?
Who will let people know we're streaming? This was just for us. I don't do it for the fame.
I do it for the glory.
I do it for the yulls.
So you can see through our little Pikmin tracker, we've got a couple little dips going down there. Sad. I do want it to be on record. I have done no death playthroughs of this game. I have an entire Let's Play on this channel of this game that is a no death run. It is also
See, I don't believe you.
incredibly informative. There's infographics that come on the screen anytime we encounter new creatures and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Wait, you lose 13 of them?
Yep,
How?
they got eaten.
Whose fault is that?
Mine.
Exactly. Also, back in the other place, there was a blue thing. Could we not have found a blue Pikmin?
Not prior to this point of the game.
Oh. So blue is different.
And hold on, you got real loud all of a sudden.
Sorry, you moved my mic closer to my face.
Well, then I'm gonna need to turn you down.
Turn me down. Why don't you? I just thought it sounded a little hollow.
There we go.
A little weird.
So, now that we've increased the ship's capabilities, we can discover a new area, the Forest Naval.
Hmm. Interesting.
Alright, so first thing, let's pull up this map and see what's going on. So these striped lines indicate that it's a body of water, and there is quite a few pockets of water all scattered throughout here. A good number of parts to collect as well, so we're going to be here for a little bit.
A day, will you say? A day?
At least 2.
2 days? You're a madman.
Alright, so as is usual, we are going to start by taking out a bunch of Pikmin, kind of clear out some preliminary obstacles that are going to be blocking our path. But while we are doing that, we're going to wander down here and see what this thing is. If you're good at pattern recognition, you should already know.
Blue. Is that a water Pikmin?
Tis a blue Pikmin.
Where?
It's got gills.
They're multiplying.
And here we have a bread bug that is being an annoying little pest and trying to steal our pellets. We don't want him to do that. But he's probably going to get away, because if we have just one Pikmin, they're not going to be strong enough to deal with him. It's alright. We don't really lose anything if he gets away. It's just more of a nuisance than anything else. But we will need to kill him at some point.
I would have chased him down to the ends of the earth.
So, as we've discovered a new Pikmin type, we will need to grow up their numbers. And there's our little bread bug buddy. Oh, but we got new guys, new dudes. These are shearwigs. They are a more deadly version of the shear grubs, mostly because they can fucking fly. But that is also when they're at their most vulnerable. So these guys do like to swarm. And there is an unfortunate glitch in this game where if a shear grub or a shear wig manages to catch a Pikmin in its pincers, it will be unkillable while it is eating.
Oh, your Pikmin just died.
Yep.
No, the Pikmin just died.
Because as you can see, you can hit it, but it won't take any damage until its animation is complete.
So where are your other Pikmin? You're like 100.
Oh yeah, no, I left them back taking down that gate because otherwise none of the parts would actually be able to make it back to the ship. And so we've got some Pikmin being grown. And we'll go ahead and go to call these guys back. So there's like a little rock patch right here. It's works the same way as those grass patches, but that'll produce nectar. Only that they are much harder to break, and so they will just kind of be a pain in the ass. There we go. Got these guys dealt with. And we have another new enemy, the fiery blowhog. They will breathe fire. So if the blue Pikmin can actually go in the water, what do you think is immune to fire?
Obviously, green.
The green's in the sequel. But yes, red Pikmin are immune to fire. This is not something that's like explicitly explained when you first discover them. It is explained in one of the captain's logs that can come up that they have an immunity to fire.
Friggin'
So I left these Pikmin idling a little bit too close to their way back, and they got lured into the water, which is not what you want to have happen.
Also, even that shallow water, is that shallow water or is it more like there? Oh, this is shallowish water.
Oh yeah, I mean, Olimar is fully submerged.
Ooh.
Okay. So, red Pikmin, of course, they can take out these guys without any terrible hassle. You can rescue Pikmin if they are set on fire, though. However, unlike them being, like them drowning, the window to save them is like half a second. Yeah, it's pretty unforgiving. And you can note that as these Pikmin are getting thrown off of the back of this thing, they are losing their petals, which means they are reverting down to a middle state of buds, which means they're just halfway between flower Pikmin and leaf Pikmin.
Oh.
There we go. So we're going to let those guys go on that. And we got a whole bunch of carcasses here.
Where did you leave those guys?
They're going to be tearing down that wall.
Well, it's a wall? Okay. Oh, yeah, I thought it was a cliff. My vision wasn't as good as it used to be.
Okay. I'm going to carry that guy back. Idiot. Yeah. Yeah, we've discovered got over 100 Pikmin trying to be grown, so that message pops up again. I don't know why it decides to do that, but it does.
What's the children's game? Don't mention it. I'm gonna tell you what's wrong. Are those plants changing colors?
Yes! Now that we have all three types of Pikmin discovered, they will cycle between the three colors. So whichever one happens to be showing at the time it is felled, it will drop that pellet. So here we have them building a stick, and it's just going to drop them on top of another part. Just sitting here, out in the open, for anyone to get. So here we see we've left some Pikmin in the ground for a little bit too long, and they've started maturing. These are also bud Pikmin.
So the difference between red Pikmin and flower Pikmin is flower are what? Stronger or like faster? Or what's the difference?
Faster and stronger.
Ooh.
I don't know the exact difference in their stats off the top of my head, but I believe it's like to a magnitude. They're like 1.5 times faster and stronger than their base stats. So I'm going to put some of these guys back. So that way I could pull out a couple more. So I need 40 blue Pikmin to get a specific part that I'm going to be going for next. You know, I have a feeling Olimar's strategy to fix this isn't going to work.
Wow.
I don't think dirt is an effective sealant.
I don't know what it's mixed with.
So if we go out into the water, pull up the map, as we can see there is a part way out here, and we got some more bad guys to deal with. This is a Wollywog. It will jump up and squish your Pikmin. And so what I am doing is trying to get it out of the way. And then there's another one over here that is similarly blocking the path. I could attack this thing, and if you have enough Pikmin tackling it, it will weigh it down, and preventing it from being able to hop. But generally speaking, it's not worth the time it would take. So instead, typically what I like to do is just have them distracted and out of the way, so that way they won't try and squish my Pikmin as they're trying to carry it back, because while Pikmin are carrying things, they are defenseless. Meaning enemy creatures can come up and just have a free lunch. Alright, so that's good. They're out of the way. And they're out of the way. And they'll be free and clear to carry that thing back home. I don't think they're going to make it all the way there. So I'm just going to kind of walk alongside them to make sure I can call them back to my group before time runs out.
Oh wow, yeah, to get from the store.
And while that's going on, I'm going to make sure I don't have any stray Pikmin anywhere. Nope. Like I said before, any Pikmin that are in the landing site are going to be perfectly fine, so I don't need to make sure they're in my party. Actually, I can get you guys to speed this up a little bit. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's so fucking annoying. No, so Pikmin are incredibly distractible. If there's something that they can interact with more often than not, then they will in this game. And so as I was trying to call them back, one of them tried to re-grab the damn thing. And I do not believe it was in my group when the day ended. Oh, no, we're fine. We're good. So if you have any Pikmin that are left behind, they will be shown helplessly running towards the landing site as the ship's taking off, and unfortunately will become prey to the nightlife. So I believe we got lucky. And here's Olimar telling us something that we already know, because he told us before. Okay, yeah, we're good. So
We lost 3 in battle, though.
We lost 3 in battle. Yes, that's because they were eaten by the Shearwigs. Tragic. But we didn't lose any from being left behind. Honestly, personally, I've always felt if I leave a Pikmin behind, that is truly because I was too careless with my time, and that hurts worse. Whereas if I lost something in battle, at least, like, it was something I was trying to accomplish. It wasn't negligence. But we are trucking along. So we've got 6 out of 30 parts, so we're doing pretty good. We're 5th of the way there. Now,
have you gotten all the parts from those 2 places first, or no?
No, because a good number of them were locked behind water. So this is actually the first area that we can complete without having to go anywhere else first. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and try and get a lot of stuff done today. Okay, so we're going to call out some of these. And some of these. And 30 blues. So this area's got a lot of like these various paths and obstacles that are walled off by stone walls and these stick bridges that if we set our Pikmin to work on, they will slowly unfurl. So it makes trying to carry stuff back very tedious, because otherwise they will have to go around a very long way. And we want to try and mitigate that as much as possible, because any Pikmin that are currently engaged in a task, we can't really use them for anything else. And our old friend the bread bug's out and about, looking for breakfast.
Kill the bread. Kill the bread.
That is a goal, because if we take a look at the map, the damn thing has a piece inside of it.
Destroy it.
So what the bread bug's actually going to do is it's just going to look around to try and find something that it can pick up. So pellets, corpses, whatever. And so what we can do is we can bait it. So we're going to go ahead and pick this thing up, and this should get its attention. So it should be coming back around to try and snag it. Also, where are you going? So this is a fun little quirk of how this game works. The pathfinding for the Pikmin as they're carrying stuff, basically what ends up happening is that there are these various nodes that are set up all across the map. And the way Pikmin do their pathfinding is they will basically go to the next highest priority node that is leading them back to the home base. And so they'll keep doing that, making these sort of connections as they make their way home. And now that we have 2 Pikmin on this one pellet, it is now overpowering the strength of the bread bug. And so they're going to come back, and what's going to end up happening is that when the onion tries to absorb the pellet, it will... And, oh my god. Jesus Christ. And when it tries to absorb the pellet, it will just end up slamming it into it and will cause it some significant damage. Unfortunately, one hit will not be enough to kill it, which makes it the most annoying thing. But there is a solution to that.
Yeah, a little bit fun. And we are watching this fascinating moment of history.
So we can have our Pikmin attack it, and if we can get one to land square on it, it will do just enough damage to kill it. Problem is, this thing moves so fast. Oh my god.
It's an embarrassing showing.
They're like barely landing right next to him. Oh my god.
Oh, the yellow one should have got it. We shall find a way. By land, by air, by sea, by Pikmin.
There we go.
Wow. A space float?
Mm-hmm.
Why does he need a space float?
So you can swim in space. And we'll pick that up a little bit later.
Ooh.
Yeah, that is probably by far the most tedious thing to try and pick up. The rest of this isn't going to be so bad. So we're just going to go ahead and gather up the troops. And we're going to try and collect 2 parts in one area. And make sure, yep, got everyone. We'll pick this thing up a little bit later. Oh my god. So we're going to come along down the side path, and there are fire geysers that are just here to do a hurt to our Pikmin.
Oh, dear.
Okay. So I want to sort these Pikmin. I need you guys here out of the way. And then you all are going to work on building that bridge. And you guys need to come with me. So using our swarm command, the C stick, we can have our Pikmin kind of hug against that wall so they don't end up burning to death. And come over here. And here's another part.
One more part.
So one of the things I've always found amusing about this game is as we discover more and more parts, we get more and more insight to Olimar as a space captain, and it becomes readily apparent he has no idea what he's doing.
That's what I said in the game.
No, but trust me, there are going to be some parts that the descriptions you're going to want to make sure you take in. Alright, so now we got that thing on land. We can go ahead and come back. Have our Pikmin walk against this wall. And go ahead and dismiss. These all are going to get distracted to go work on the bridge, which is good because I want to build faster. And we can just go ahead and run these guys through fire. 54.
Are you missing one?
I am. I don't know where it is, though. Oh, there it is. Like I said, because this is the first game in the series, there are some mechanics that aren't quite fully dealt with. Actually, I don't want all of you guys doing this. So they're going to go ahead and take this all the way back to the ship. Okay. Oops. Doing a bit of waiting. It's just an unfortunate reality sometimes.
Yeah. There's a lot of waiting. Work makes work.
There we go. So those three guys are going to go ahead and dig up a geyser that Olimar can use to propel upwards. And because our yellow Pikmin are able to be thrown higher than the other two, we can use them to ascend this cliff. So we can pick up this part.
Congratulations.
Get a nice little insight to Olimar's home life. Alright. And now that these guys are on the ground, we're going to go ahead and come back. Swap it out for red Pikmin. And that is all we need to do in this area.
The light is leaving the sun. It is getting dark.
Making sure I'm not leaving any Pikmin behind. So they're gonna work their way back. Oh, Jesus Christ. I swear, you look the wrong way and your Pikmin will just go flying off in any direction. Okay, so now we got 3 different parts that are slowly making their way back to the home base. And one of them is coming around the bend. So while we only have like 14, 15 minutes in a single day to get stuff done, you actually can accomplish quite a bit if you're using your time well. We got 3 different parts coming in, and another part that's just sitting off to the side there that we're going to grab in a quick second.
They're so excited. Analog. What? Computer. Okay.
See? Olimar's got a boss.
Will we ever see that boss?
Yes, we actually will. Not in this game, but he will come up. Oh my god. Camera.
Hurry, it's almost sundown. Are you gonna have time?
I will, but I will need to grab a couple more Pikmin on this thing. Even if these guys don't make it all the way back, having them closer in base makes things easier on a subsequent day because they will just automatically grab stuff.
So
Alright.
delivered units are not delivered, or
If they don't make it to the onion before the time runs out, then they're just going to drop wherever they are. But it looks like we're good. So we get to watch this cutscene 3 times in a row. Sure, Olimar. Sure. It's a good thing time freezes whenever these cutscenes start.
Anti-doxin filter. Wow. Libra.
We're a third of the way there. Oh, now this is why I love Pikmin so much. Because when you get a lot done, you really feel it. And so there's still a couple more things that we're going to need to take care of. And I'm going to try and see if I can actually do it in one more day. One day more.
One day more. We shall see if your skills are worth and up to the task. Same place or different place?
Same place. Since we are able to pretty much clear this place out in one stop, more or less, it's good to do so. Largely because if you end up leaving an area and coming back on a non-sequential day, any enemies and stuff that you've killed will have respawned. And also some of the obstacles that you've cleared, like these stick bridges, can become undone because the sheer grubs and sheer wigs will actually eat them and re-roll them back up. It is a bit of a pain in the ass.
0 lost in battle. Oh.
It's a good day.
A good day.
Alright. So we got 4 parts left. Let's see if we can get another 4-part spree. Alright, so we have another part here in the water. A part here, and you can kind of make out a faint line blocking off that pathway there. That just means that there's a wall there that we need to take down. There's a part here in this area, and one part way up here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down with about... yeah, it's good. 35 of you. And we are just going to go fish another part out. Make sure I got everybody. So this is a pretty straightforward part to try and grab. This is like the space equivalent of people who put like those whistlers on their exhausts on their cars.
Oh no. Everyone's gonna get something in. God damn Omar.
So these guys are just gonna go ahead and make their way back to the base. And
Oh, these
I'm gonna go and put these guys back because we don't need blue Pikmin anymore. 9. Did I drop one?
Yeah.
Are you absolutely kidding me?
No.
Yeah, see, this is an issue. Like, Pikmin can get caught on like these little lips in the changes in geometry on the ground. And it could just absolutely ruin your day. Alright. Making good time, making some progress.
This is what North 11? 12? Or 8?
11.
11.
Okay. So because these guys tend to be pretty dangerous due to that glitch, I try and at least do the ground-based ones and kill them with Olimar by himself. The flying ones, if they take to the sky, they will slowly begin to recover their health. But they also are at their most vulnerable while they're flying. And so I want to make sure that these guys get killed, because as we get some of the stuff that's on this end of the map, this is the pathway the Pikmin are going to want to take to bring them home. There we go. Okay. So there's an interesting quirk in the way that this game is programmed. Basically, if any enemies are not on screen, they don't exist.
No, it's object permanence.
Well, yes, of course they're still there, but basically they are frozen. And this is done to save on processing power because having a lot of things moving around in an environment all at once can be very taxing. And so the way the game is programmed to save on that processing power, they will simply treat them as they don't exist. So this basically means that if you have Pikmin carrying stuff back, even if they're going to be walking past hostile enemies, in most cases, they will be able to make it back home perfectly fine. However, if you are not careful and end up angling your camera to facing in that direction, it can reactivate those creatures, making them hazardous once again.
Wow.
Alright, that's what I want. Gonna go ahead and pick up some more of these bomb rocks that are way the fuck over here. There's a shit ton of them, too. So, like before, in order to not accidentally blow you or your Pikmin up, what we need to do in order to call these guys back safely is we have to manually go up and touch them to have them rejoin the party. And the detection on that is not the best. Alright, we can dismiss them safely without any issue though. So we're gonna go ahead and have these guys carry this thing back. Alright, and now that we have these, what we're going to do... Oh my goodness, no, I need you...
Can the yellow carry more boulders? Like, could they carry heavier boulders of their flower?
No. They're all... The bomb rocks are basically a single weight, essentially. Okay. And that should do it. Go ahead and set you guys there. And while they're doing that, I am going to go around because there's another stone wall that I need to take care of.
Rubbed into a rub.
It's the springy that makes you go up. Alright, so now that we have increased our capabilities once again, this is going to unlock yet another new area to explore. Oh, Jesus Christ. So here we gotta be careful. There we go. I'm gonna set those guys to finish that wall and make our way back to pick up some more Pikmin.
But you already have 100.
Yes, but they were all otherwise occupied, and now they're all just kind of hanging out here.
Oh, so you can command more than 100, but other ones have to be occupied. Interesting.
Right. While I'm here, if we stand in this little circle under the ship, we will be able to repair Olimar's suit and recover any lost health. Okay. No, that's out the way. Any stragglers? Nope. So while they're off doing that, I'm going to wander through here. See, it's very easy to get swarmed like that. But we're fine. So while those are still breaking down the wall, we have a thing here. And sure enough, it's got a part in it. This is our first mini-boss of the game. This is the puff stool. It is just like a walking mushroom thing that really is not terribly harmful to our Pikmin. But if it manages to get its attack off like this, it poisons our Pikmin and turns them into Puffmin, which are basically dangerous to us. But when we kill the thing, the effect wears off, and our Pikmin are no worse for the wear. When they're Puffmin, it is incredibly deadly to us because they can very easily swarm Olimar and kill him almost immediately. Yeah, fun times. But I mean, other than that, it's pretty harmless. And in fact, it's kind of goofy because if you just kind of get a couple of Pikmin to latch onto its feet, it trips, making it almost childishly easy to deal with. Alright. So that group is taking back that part. And we're going to come in here with these guys. Avoid the flames. And our last part is in here, and I hope I have enough time for this. I'm cutting it pretty close.
Boss time.
Another mini boss. This is the beady longlegs. It will walk around and stomp your Pikmin just like that. And because its weak point is high up in the air, it makes it incredibly hard to hit, meaning you have to almost exclusively use your yellow Pikmin to deal with. And as you can see, it's already killed half of them. But eventually, it will get weak and take a break and kind of rear its head down. And this is not going to happen tonight. So, we're going to go ahead and bail out! Yeah, because I'm not going to be able to kill it and also recover the part. And so I need to make sure I pick up any straggling Pikmin left behind. And there's a couple I see. So alas, we're going to have to come back for one day. But we've only got the one thing to do, so it's not the end of the world, I suppose.
Omega stabilizer. Oh, it's just the fin. Okay.
Even if I don't recover all 30 parts. Okay. We're getting there.
It's a tedious task, man.
I mean, we are practically halfway done.
Well, you only have, what, 6 parts? 7?
We've collected 14 parts. Or, sorry, 13 parts. Yeah, not great. The beady longlegs is a bitch and a half. So, of course, we've discovered a new area, but we're not going to go there quite yet because I want to get the Forest Navel wrapped up. Now, I think the Forest Navel is probably the most interesting level in the game. Mostly because, like, it has a very nice interplay of the different environmental hazards. Because you have the fire geysers and the fiery blowhogs scattered all throughout the level. Plenty of bodies of water to contend with. And you have a couple of different obstacles that require bomb rocks and the beady longlegs, which itself can primarily only be dealt with yellow Pikmin. So I am going to call out. I want to have a group of 20 or 30 yellow Pikmin with me, and then another 30 worth of reds. Because while I do need the yellow Pikmin to kill the beady longlegs, I need the red to actually carry the part through those fire geysers. And you know what, while we're here, let's go ahead and flower you guys up. Ooh. Two nectar drops from grass. That's not terribly common. Oh, this is cool. So I've only pulled out 60 Pikmin, but if you look at the bottom, there's 61 currently on the map. And if we go all the way over here, you can see a little green sprout there. So this game is unique in the franchise in that if Pikmin die in battle with a creature, there is a chance that it can produce a seed that can be plucked on the next day. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and come in here with Olimar alone to pull aggro. There he goes. Now, unfortunately, these creatures will recover their health from day to day. Okay. Gotta play very carefully here. Basically, you want to stay under it because that's going to be the best way to make sure you can throw your Pikmin on it when it stops moving. It's not a foolproof plan. Oh, God. And unfortunately, the way it stops around, it is a set pattern, but it can be difficult to kind of tell how it's going to move. But as you can see, we've already taken out 2/3 of its health, so it's not that protracted of a fight, as long as you're playing smart. Unfortunately, the Pikmin are very distracted and try to attack it at its feet, where it is not vulnerable. And this should do it. Not quite. There we go. And that is the beady longlegs. Killed. And we have the guard satellite, which is supposed to protect the ship from dangers in space. Except meteors, I guess? Seems like a curious oversight. Oh my god. So, not too bad of a fight. I've only lost 13. But we're going to go ahead and come back in here. And let you guys pick this up. And this is it. This is all we have to do in the Forest Naval. Once this thing makes it back to the ship, we can call it a quits. Oh, what the hell are you doing back here? While they're doing that, I'm going to come down here and pluck our little friend that died. And we are pretty much halfway there. these guys out of the ground. And you know what? While I am here, I might as well see if I can't grow a couple more yellow Pikmin because I am low in numbers for them. Eek, I have less than 30. Now, the cruel irony of this game is that the yellow Pikmin are tragically underutilized, in that you really do not need more than like 30 or 40 of them in a single playthrough. Assuming you don't lose any along the way. Just gonna take those back. And problem is, I don't think there's a lot of carcasses around for me to... No. Perhaps not.
So, quick question.
Yeah.
The color of the Pikmin dictates what ship they're going to, right?
Yes. So you can have Pikmin carrying back, like a mixture of them carrying stuff back, and whatever is the majority color, that is the onion that they're going to take it back to.
Oh. Okay.
And here they are cracking open some of these rocks to get some more nectar.
Have a good night, Josiah. We had a friend coming in and say hello and say see ya, gents. And left as well.
All right. It was nice having you on board.
Reported and blocked.
Nah, we can't do that to our fan. Our one fan.
Let's talk about you. Couldn't read you calling our one fan friend. How dare you? Don't thank them for paying for this experience.
I don't think you know how YouTube works. People can watch for free.
No. Nothing's ever for free. There's no such thing as a free sandwich. Ah, I see. So for those plants that were changing color, it didn't matter what color they landed on, it just mattered what Pikmin were, taking it away. I see.
In a sense, yes. The reason that they matter is because if you take a blue pellet back to the blue onion, it will give you that bonus Pikmin.
Yeah, that's what you were saying, the bonus Pikmin.
Yeah. But otherwise, you can take them back to a mismatched onion, and it'll still give you a Pikmin.
Nice.
And of course, for the creatures that you take back, like the Bulborbs and anything else that you kill, they have a set number of seeds that they will produce regardless of what onion they're taken back to. So, for example, dwarf Bulborbs will produce 3 seeds, while their bigger counterparts will produce 7? Might be 10. I don't have that number off the top of my head. But we got a number of our yellow Pikmin back, so we're good for now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and end the day, because there's nothing else for us to do here. So we've collected all the parts, meaning we never need to return to the Forest Navel. And in fact, we will never see this level ever again. Aside from some side mission in a future installment. Now here, Olimar's depicting the maturation cycle of an unplucked Pikmin. And here, this is also the mechanic I was talking about. If you lose flower Pikmin in battle, they will leave a seed behind.
Oh, it's only flower people.
Yes. So, unfortunately, this isn't my cleanest run I've ever done, but it's far from my worst. I remember the first time I ever played this game, I lost hundreds of Pikmin. It was embarrassing. And so we're going to go ahead and just do some cleanup before we go to the distant spring. We're going to go back to the impact site because there is a second part for us to collect here. I also like to consider this something of a Pikmin nursery because there's a shit ton of large value pellets all over the place. So we're going to take out 6 yellow and 40 blue. And the rest in red. We truly don't need all of these, but it's just nice having 100 Pikmin out and about. Okay. Here we have an iridescent flint beetle. If we can pelt it with Pikmin, it will flip over and give us various goodies. Generally, whenever they pop up, your Pikmin will be immediately distracted by it, and it will remain on the field for like 30 seconds or something like that, before it just will burrow back into the ground. Like that. Ah, it's back. Cool. So you can't actually kill it. It is completely harmless, outside of the fact that it can wander your Pikmin into hostile creatures. 99.
Ooh, have you lost one?
Oh no, he's just sitting there idle, not doing anything. Why don't you want to pick up this rock? There you go. Let's go ahead and separate you guys out. I want 3 of you to come up here, because there's a stone wall up here. Also, there's this guy. We'll deal with him in a second. Okay. And we're going to take our other bomb rocks, because we're going to go across here, and we're going to use these guys to take down this bramble gate. And that is all we need our yellow Pikmin for. Grab our blues. Ah. They have the attention span of a small dog. So, like I said, we're just going to ignore that guy. He's actually fairly harmless to our Pikmin. But he is a bit of a nuisance. And we're going to come up here because this guy has got a part. This is a pearly clam clamp. And what it's going to do is it'll rear back and try and chow down on your Pikmin. And so you want to make sure you call them back before it actually closes its maw. If you're feeling particularly frosty, you can kill this thing in one cycle. I'm too much of a chicken to actually try that. Ah. And so, like some other creatures, this thing doesn't actually die. It'll just spit out whatever it's holding.
Position generator. The instant space noodles will taste better heated up.
And that'll take that thing back. And that is pretty much all we gotta do. But while we're here, I'm gonna go ahead and show off this guy that's kind of hanging out. Well, yeah, it's a generator. That's generally what it does.
Oh, positron, not position. I can't.
We are halfway there. So this guy is the Mamuta. He will not kill your Pikmin, but he is something of a gardener. Instead of killing your Pikmin, he will instead slam them into the ground and plant them. Incredibly annoying. But he does have the added bonus of instantly flowering your Pikmin that are planted this way. Or should I say replanted. And as you can see, real pain in the ass.
You like spread on the ground on their own, or you have to pull them everywhere?
Yep. But he's dead. So this is actually a rare encounter. This is the only Mamuta that is in this game. And in fact, the impact site is unique in that it has 2 rare encounters depending on the day you decide to visit the area. If you come in on an even number day, like today, it will have a Mamuta here. But if you come in on an odd number day, it will have something different.
Is that by design, or was it just like something specially added to it, or was it a...
No, that's entirely intended. So they'll go ahead and take care of that. Well, yes, Olimar, this is the 3rd time you've told us.
Simple-minded at some things.
Okay. But with that, there's really not much else for us to do. I am missing a Pikmin somewhere. What the hell are you doing all the way up there? So, coming back to the impact site's actually a good way if you've lost a lot of Pikmin. Because with all these 20 pellets lying around, this bird clamp clap's got a pearl in here that'll give you, I think, like 20 or 25 Pikmin. The Mamuta itself is worth a good amount. There's a trio of 10 pellets up there, all sorts of single pellets. So if you find yourself in a Pikmin shortage, just pop back here for a day, and you're back in good standing. But there's nothing else for us to do here, so we're going to go ahead and go to Sunset. With all our lovely Pikmin. Pixman. Our picked men. Handpicked. So, Olimar has hinted earlier already, but now he's outright telling us that not every single of the 30 parts is going to be necessary to complete the game. In fact, out of the 30 parts, only 5 of them are not required to have a good ending. And I'm going to leave it to you to try and guess which ones are not necessary.
Really the last ones?
Well, see, the beauty of this game is you can kind of set your own path and order in how you wish to tackle the challenges. So there isn't really a last part you can get. It's more so the last part that you happen to grab. So we're going to go back to the Forest of Hope because we still have 4 parts here sitting, and now that we have blue Pikmin, we can actually pick them up. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab about, let's do 15 of you. And 30 of you. All flowered up, and you love to see it. We're going to come up this way. And like I said before, because it's been a couple of days since we've last been here, our Bulborb friends have respawned. We're going to go ahead and kill this guy, so he's not going to hurt our friends. And we're gonna throw these guys up here. And we're gonna set you guys to finish. Oh my goodness. Get up! We're gonna have you guys finish tearing down this gate. And we're just going to leave them there for the moment. We'll come back and check on them. In the meantime, we're going to have 15 of you guys. And let's do 15 of you guys. You're going to come with me. And the gate's done. Squish you. got some nasties over here that have spawned. Okay. And I'm gonna kill you. So I'm gonna take down these pellet posy stalks because they have a tendency of getting in the way of collecting parts, and your Pikmin will just kind of get stuck on them. And we're gonna come in here. These guys are wogpoles. These are the tadpoles of the Wollywogs that we saw in the Forest Naval. They are absolutely harmless, but are incredibly distracting to Pikmin. And we're going to come down here because with this bridge and the other bridge that the Reds are taking down, they're going to create this nice little pathway that we can traverse. While they're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and go back up here. All the way back up here. And now have you guys work on this wall. Behind this wall is another mini boss, the Armored Cannon Beetle. We'll deal with him once this wall comes down. Come on. Oh my god, the tripping! So much tripping. No, okay. Alright. So we're gonna go back to base here, and we're going to grab we'll grab 10 of you guys because I'm not quite sure how many of you I actually need. We're gonna put 5 of you back, and once those are back in the onion, I'm gonna go ahead and take out some more red Pikmin. Those guys are doing pretty good. Take out these guys. So before, when we were here, there was only one of them. Now there's 2 of them. As the game progresses and we get into later days, more enemies will begin spawning in the area.
Really? So like the later in the count that is, there's more advanced enemies? Stuff like that?
Yep. Oh, get up. God damn it. Okay. Terribly annoying. We're just gonna kind of... Oh, Jesus Christ. Ah, well. Oh, gee, and this guy? Yeah. So it's very easy for things to kind of stockpile on you. Now let's go back. These guys, I still need to make sure I have 10 blues. So these guys are done with this bridge, so I can pick them up, which is actually going to make clearing these guys out a little bit easier. There we go. Pick up some more of these rocks. Oh my god. Can I just... Truth be told, fighting any enemies with yellow Pikmin is incredibly annoying because they have this high throw arc. So you can't really, like, get the jump on creatures because they'll just move out of the way.
Ooh. Well, so you did.
Ah, well. There we go. All right. Well, wasn't the cleanest. Jesus Christ. Oh, Olimar. You simple fool. You beautiful idiot.
So this is one of those you don't need?
No, this is one you absolutely do need. It's just Olimar doesn't know what the fuck is on his ship. Alright, so we're gonna come up here. And this guy will kind of wander around and shoot out boulders. And what we want to do is we want to stop up his spout there, which is going to open his carapace to reveal his weak spot. And like that, he is incredibly easy to defeat. Truly.
So how many Pikmin will you get if you put that carcass in your ship?
I want to say somewhere between 20 and 30. Generally, anytime you come across a mini boss, it'll give you a pretty hefty payday.
Nice.
So those guys will carry it, the radiation canopy back to the ship. And I can come in here. Gotta patch myself up. Put my yellow Pikmin away because we don't need them anymore. And, yeah, I think I'm gonna grab a couple more reds. Is a good number.
So which ones like I don't want to use in a fight? Red, blue, or yellow?
So the red Pikmin are like 25% stronger than the other two types, so they're generally going to be the most useful in any sort of protracted fight with creatures. But other than that, they are all identical.
Sagittarius, that's fine. So are the astrological ones not needed?
No, these are critical. And it's actually quite sweet considering the fact that while Olimar is willing to take off and not have certain parts of his ship, he is not willing to go back without the gifts from his children. Non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
Just fill the leaks with dirt. Alright, so tragically, it doesn't look like I'll have enough time to collect the next part, which is fine because I really don't want to be rushed to do it. So instead, what I'm going to do is take this time to clear out the path.
Clear the path. For the king.
What the hell are you doing out here? I should check to see if I've got any loose Pikmin idling about. I don't think so. So, while the map will tell you what, where various parts are located, it does not tell you about any sort of creature locations that may be scattered about.
We have time.
Alright. Well, killed one of them. So I'll just have to kill the other one tomorrow.
Wait, did you make it back to the landing zone in time?
Yes, so that last part that I was waiting for just made it back. And with that, one last check on any. Should be all the Pikmin. So aside from those few that I had lost in the fight, everyone should be accounted for. Yep, no Pikmin left behind.
9 days since the impact. Oh, horrors! A bomb rock explosion engulfed my Pikmin. The last horrified facial expression is burned into my memory. I must review my procedures of training my Pikmin will not so I don't repeat this mistake. When I press A to tell Pikmin who are carrying bomb rocks and call them back, and B, I drop the bomb rocks and come back.
Yeah, so he just reiterates the controls for dealing with them. But yeah, this is indicative of what I mentioned earlier, and that depending on what happens during the course of the day, Olmar may have something to say about it. In fact, he's got a lot of sort of preset notes that can come up based on what happens. And if nothing important happens, then he also has a set list of things that he'll just kind of say that, like, I miss my family, and oh, look at how strange and weird the Pikmin are. So we're going to go ahead and come back here, do our last little bit of cleanup.
Also, the graphics aren't too bad in this game. I mean, it's how it is.
I mean, no, the graphics held up pretty good, and for as early on in the GameCube's life, being a launch title, the photorealism that they have for the environments is really well done.
Yeah, there's a little bit of motion blur when you change the camera's perspective, but I mean, other than that, like, it looks good. You know? I like it.
So, an interesting thing about these bulb orbs, when they die and they kind of plummet to the ground, there is a small chance that a Pikmin could be caught right smack dab under its center and be pushed through the bottom of the ground and die.
Repeat that?
Yeah, so whenever the bulb orb falls down like that, there's a chance that a Pikmin could be in the unfortunate position of being square under it, that it will be pushed through the bottom barrier of the ground. And whenever that happens, it will die because it falls down through to the death barrier under the map. But it doesn't make any sort of noises, like it doesn't scream like Pikmin normally do when they die. So there's absolutely no indicator that you've lost a Pikmin that way, unless you're paying attention to the Pikmin count at the bottom of the screen. Alright. So, with that pathway open, we need that box pushed out of the way, so that way when the Pikmin carry the part back, they can actually walk on down that pathway. However, it is a bit narrow for my liking. So I'm just going to throw these guys up here for this cliff, because that's where this pathway leads to. Just so that way they don't end up falling in the water and I have to rescue them from drowning. It's a real pain in the ass. Jesus Christ. Alright, you can go with me. It's fine. It's easier to get one across that pathway than 60. And I'm gonna have you guys go ahead and carry this guy back. So we got another part up here somewhere, right on the edge of the cliff there. But tragically, we've got a mini boss. This is the burrowing snagret.
Oh, what?
The burrowing snagret. It is a member of the Snavian family. That means it is a bird-snake hybrid. Oh, it is absolutely terrifying. It is probably one of the worst enemies in the game, and it will uh, burrow into the ground and then wait for your Pikmin to kind of swarm over its spawn, and then it'll just come up and peck at them. And its weakest point is at its head. And unfortunately, the one that we're fighting right now is the one that swallowed the part.
Are there multiple in that area?
There are 3.
Jeez.
The Geiger counter.
Of course. Every once in a while it goes wild and lets out a lot of noise and never paying attention to it. So it doesn't do me much good, but I really should read the manual one of these days. Wow.
Jesus Christ, Olimar.
Jesus Christ. That's why he's like all puffy and red. He's like got a lot of fucking radiation poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
So yeah, there's 3 of these guys about. However, I don't particularly like dealing with them. So what I usually end up doing is having them pick up this part and then using Olimar as a distraction. As you can see here, whenever they pop out of the ground, there is a chance that they could get stuck partway, and that is the prime opportunity to swarm them. But it is like a 1 in 5 chance that happens.
Huh.
But the part's out of the way, and so they are out of any clear and present danger. And so we're just going to wait for them to carry it back. And I'm going to go ahead and pick this guy up to recover my losses.
Now, occasionally I see things floating in the air. What are those things?
Those are honey wisps, and they are basically ghosts that have a drop of nectar on them. And if you can throw a Pikmin to hit it, it will drop it.
Oh.
They're very useful if you want a quick nectar pick-me-up.
Oh.
But ultimately, I don't think it's anything worth going out of your way for.
Okay.
Especially since they're pretty fast and they float up high up.
He says it and then he does it in like 2 seconds.
Yeah. The thing is you can't really predict when they're going to spawn.
Oh, I see.
It's weird because Olimar understands the importance of having his radiation canopy intact. And yet he doesn't know what the Geiger counter is for.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful idiot. I love him so much. You know, I will say that this is something of an anomaly for a Nintendo mainline game because they tend to rely so heavily on silent protagonists that to have one that is so incredibly talkative as Olimar is very refreshing. Alright, and with that, this should be it. I'm just going to try and flower up these last couple of Pikmin here. And then we're going to call it a day. Alright. Nothing left to do.
And that's all for this place?
That's it. Yeah, once you've collected all the parts, there's no reason to come back to any of these areas. So this is the game subtly suggesting to you, like, hey, you should take a look at that new area you discovered. But that's it. We are effectively 2/3 of the way through with the game. Only 11 parts remain, and one area to explore. But I think that's going to go ahead and do it for this stream. When we come back, we will be finishing up the first Pikmin. And man, I told you this was a short game.
I didn't believe.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Orange.